Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Ajishafe. What a night! UEFA Champions League for Manchester City, trashing Real Madrid in that game. It was as expected from Real Madrid fan. The Hala Madrid stars, they were pummeled to the ground. Serious sensation coming from Manchester City. Guardiola and his stars actually went out and they were able to do it. We'll be looking at that story for us in the studio with gentlemen, too. Chris in the studio here. Chris, good to have you.
Thank you.
And I also have Christopher Madrid. Good to have you, Christopher.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's like you guys actually had a meeting.
He's actually smiling like me.
Anyway, looking at that game, that's the first story we're looking at. Manchester City trash Real Madrid at Etihad Stadium. It was a big one yesterday. You look at that game to reach a Champions League final. Not as expected, although someone said Man City were ready for it, but Real Madrid made it easy for Manchester City. Do you agree with that? Let's start with you, Christopher.
I expected Man City to beat Madrid, but I didn't expect that it was going to be 4-0. And see, if not for Thibaut Courtois, it could have been more. I mean, and the goalkeeper made sterling saves against Haaland, you know. And Madrid didn't just turn up on the night, and you expect this from seasoned campaigners in the Champions League, people who are renowned for winning the Champions League, you know, on one of the biggest nights in football, just to come to the Etihad and allow City to roll them over. I didn't see it coming.
Well, from the way it is right now, I can see it seems Christopher is actually fitting Real Madrid. I can suspect that he's a Madrid fan.
I'm not a Madrid fan.
Let's talk about with you, Chris. Looking at that game, from your own side of view now, what do you see that actually went wrong with Madrid?
I think I want to blame the coach. I'll blame the coach because he made a wrong selection as far as I'm concerned. If you watch the first game, you discover that Rudiger was all over Haaland and what's it called, De Bruyne. They were all over the two players. And once De Bruyne is not playing, Man City will not play. Go and watch the final between Chelsea and Madrid. That was what happened. As soon as they gave injury to De Bruyne, Chelsea came and they overwhelmed them. So that was what happened. As far as I'm concerned, that was what happened. Wrong selection.
But Haaland did not score a goal.
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
It's like living. You are playing maybe Barcelona of old, and you leave Messi on the pitch. If you remove Messi, that mentality, that psychology from that player will affect that team. There are some players that when they are not playing, the team will not play. Just like De Bruyne.
So don't be surprised. Don't think so.
The attention might be.
The point
might
of
just be
Rudiger playing well at the Bernabeu last week was because he stopped Haaland.
Yes.
All right, but he was.
They also stopped De Bruyne.
They did not stop him. He scored the fantastic goal.
The last match, he wasn't. Apart from that goal, he wasn't able to give a true pass to Haaland.
A great player comes to the occasion
once in a while
when it matters. Like he scored the vital goal away at Madrid that gave his side the hope going into the second leg. So see, they did not stop him. If you did not stop him from scoring, you can't say that he was stopped.
No, it's like you're not getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you don't allow some players to play, it will affect that team. And Rudiger not being that team, I don't know why he tampered with that team that played the first leg, because that team was just okay. But I don't know what happened to Ancelotti.
Some analysts were saying Ancelotti is someone that is a bit rigid when it comes to selection. Yes. When he gets used to you, it's always very difficult for him to change, except maybe you are injured. Either Militao, even the player that still got there, he was able to score an own goal yesterday. Really, a lot of people were expecting Rudiger to come to that play, but it never happened. And you look at, just like I said at the beginning of the show, that Madrid made it easy, or even easier for Manchester City, even though City were more prepared and more determined to win that game. Yes. But Madrid didn't put up any good fight.
Of course, they have won everything.
The only place I'm going to fault Ancelotti is that I see, even though Camavinga is a good player and can adapt to any position you put him in. I don't see him as a left back. You know, I think he is more functional in the middle than playing at left back. So if he had put Camavinga in the middle and had Rudiger and Militao start in defense, I think they would have fared better. That's the only place I do agree with you.
They actually have problem with Mendy. That's why Camavinga.
But Alaba can fit in there.
Well, I don't really. Ever since he came in, you know, if for a left back, the way nowadays they play like wing back, you must move upwards and come back.
Is this obsession coaches have with, like, I want my central defender, I want to have a central defender that can, a left-footed central defender and a right-footed central defender. That's why they are playing Alaba in the middle. But he should be a left back.
No, Alaba does not have that pace anymore. That is one of the reasons why they are using him as a central back. Before now, they used Nacho to play the left back.
They alternate. Like,
yes.
Play him a right back.
Yeah, ever since Mendy has not been there, don't be surprised. Once the season ends, Madrid will go for a left back because Mendy has not been there almost throughout the season. He has not been there. But for the match, I wasn't surprised anyway, but the goal margin was just too much. That means I don't see Ancelotti being Real Madrid coach next season.
But before the match, they say, okay, whatever happens after the match, Madrid will not sack Ancelotti.
They will sack him.
But there are talks that he could go to Brazil.
They will sack him. Madrid, there are 3 things they don't tolerate. If your rival come to Bernabeu to beat you, the second thing is that if that wide margin, they don't tolerate it. Then yes, it was just too wide.
Scandalous.
They couldn't even score half goal. I don't think my
it's like half goal anyway.
Half goal is to hit bar. When you hit the bar, at least
maybe you score and
no, hit bar or they disallow the goal. It's half goal.
Exactly.
So I think it's so embarrassing. It's unacceptable. And if I were to be Ancelotti, I would just throw in the towel.
Seriously, because of what happened yesterday.
Yes, it's so embarrassing. Madrid, the highest, no. They won the Champions League back to back, and they are being disgraced like that. No, that was just too much.
Okay, would you agree with this, Christopher, that for Madrid's performance yesterday, really, it was below par?
It was. I said it earlier. I was disappointed with how they, approached the game at the Etihad. This is a team that has won the most Champions League trophies by any club side, and you're coming to the Etihad and you're not even competing. They were not in the game. Like I said, if not for Courtois, it could have been more than 4. He made good saves, like point-blank saves. The header from Haaland in the first half that everyone thought was going in, and the close-range shot that Haaland had against him in the second half, that it could have been 6-0, and we'll be talking about a mauling.
7.
Or more.
We've been talking concerning the match between Real Madrid and Manchester City. It was not expected, really. It was a mauling, scandalous thrashing from the citizens of Etihad. They were able to do it against Real Madrid. But a lot of Madrid fans have been very quiet since yesterday. In fact, I saw some of them this morning. I was expecting them to say, "Hala Madrid," but the Hala went...
Well, what would they Hala? What would they Hala? When there's nothing to Hala.
Seriously, the Hala went hollow, kind of. But really, it was not a match that a lot of Madridistas expected. They really went so quiet. They came to the party with much expectations from their fans that they were going to do it. I remember before this game, a very young lady that supported Real Madrid was, yes, they are going to do it today. It never happened. But aside that, let's look at Guardiola now as a coach who is really very obsessed with this trophy right now. Man City.
Obsessed in Man City.
Obsessed, yes.
In Man City.
Now he has gotten the chance to get to the final now with this team.
For the second time.
A lot of people are looking at, this is their time to win it. And someone said, be careful of Inter Milan. You agree with that, Chris?
Yeah, you have to be careful. I never believed Inter Milan would get to the semi-final, let alone final. I was tipping AC Milan home and away because of what happened in the La Liga, in the Serie A, only for them to just get to, just like Madrid, they couldn't even score 1 goal. home and away.
Not even half goal.
So I think Inter Milan, they might pull a surprise. They are the underdog between the two teams on paper, even though Inter has a Champions League experience more than Man City. Man City, the way they are going, it reminds me of the first time Chelsea won the Champions League. They actually got to the final 1 year or 2 years before they won it against Man U. They lost to Man U. Then when they got to the final again, they won it. So it's like the same thing is happening to
Manchester City
because they lost to Chelsea. The first final experience. This is the second one. They might just pick it. It's only Arsenal that failed to do the same thing. Ever since they got to the final, they seem to be reversing back in the Champions League. But back to Man City, I think they are more hungrier. That's why they were able to defeat Madrid the way they did. But my fear for them is that they are chasing 3 trophies. They are still in FA Cup, they are in EPL. Somehow they have won it. And when you are chasing 2 rats at a time, it might be difficult. You might end up not catching one. But so that's my fear for them.
I believe they have the depth. They have the depth of actually running after all these cups in treble or thereabout.
They have the most expensive squad in the Premier League, and
more than Chelsea of recent before now.
Before now. But I think it's City's to lose. I just don't. You see, it's down to Guardiola. All right, if he's going to overthink the final, he might lose. Like he rightly said, you can't write off Inter Milan. All right, there's a reason why they are in the final, and the last time they got to the final, they won it in 2010, if I'm not mistaken.
That was with Mourinho.
Yeah, but that's a team that won the Champions League. All right, so they brought in Haaland to get them the goals. All right, to get them over the line, to help them win it. So if Guardiola fails to win it this time around, that question mark that has hovered around him being a great coach, many people are saying he's buying players and all, he's buying the most expensive players. If he does not win it this time around, I think people are going to continue to flog him with that stick that he's not a great coach.
Okay, would you agree he's a good coach?
He's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
But I think I agree with other people who say he's not that great.
Okay, but yesterday it was far greater than Carlo Ancelotti. Looking at the selection, looking at everything.
Tactically. In that match.
In that particular match yesterday, it was greater than Ancelotti in that match.
See, you have players like De Bruyne, Haaland, Diaz. How much did they buy Akanji for? I'm saying expensive players who have experience where they are coming from. All right, and Madrid is almost like a team in transition now. You have Benzema, you have Modric, players who are in their mid-30s, and Militao is not that old, but the point is
Toni Kroos.
Toni Kroos. Players who are being faced that they've won it all. Like they might not really have that hunger again to go for it. So, but yes, he got it right yesterday. And also the fact that they were playing at home helped, because we saw the City fans doing the Poznan after they were way ahead of Madrid, so their fans also got them over the line. Yeah. And yes, but not to take anything away from Guardiola and his team, they really came to the party last night.
They really came to the party last night. I saw Wayne Rooney said a comment where he said, well, before the match, that City, they were going to beat Real Madrid, they would trash them, and really that particular rule came to pass. And for Rio Ferdinand, I said before the match, Guardiola actually stated that they are going to beat Real Madrid just the way they did last time, and really it happened. That guts, that belief, that boldness really favor Manchester City. Would you say that, I'm talking to you, Chris, now, that was it that Real Madrid, aside the issue of that tactical approach coming from Ancelotti, were they a bit complacent that, okay, we've always been comeback king, or they just underrated Man City?
Well, if you watch Madrid this year, they've not been their best. Just because Spain, La Liga is not like EPL. If we were to be EPL, what Chelsea is facing today, Madrid will have experienced the same thing. La Liga, they have very few strong teams there. EPL, you can see Chelsea struggling, losing matches at home. It's because they have stronger teams in the EPL. So the same thing will have happened to Madrid. They are not that fantastic this season. They are just using what Yoruba people call Ogboju. Just, and some teams they want to play Madrid, they will remember these guys, they have
a lot of history.
Yes. Yeah. So that is what was actually going for them. And they were just wumble and fumbling like Fani Amu on the 20 team. That and that was so for me, they've done well. They've done just that embarrassing 4-0 knee was not acceptable. If not this season, Madrid they've done well. They actually did well. They just like you said, their players are aging. So many things are not going for them. So I think then for Guardiola as a good coach. If Guardiola is actually, I always tell people, I say, if you want to choose the best dancer, don't come and play disco dancer, and you come and choose that person. If you want to choose Nigeria best dancer, let the person dance outside Igbo and Yoruba music alongside the other before you can choose. If Guardiola is that fantastic, let him go and coach teams like Tottenham or a smaller team. Let's see, or Roma. Let's see whether he's a fantastic coach. Not a coach that will just select big names and come and play football and win, and they will say he's the best. No.
Well, Chris, I just hope that Man City fans will be coming for you for that particular analysis. They'll be talking about Manchester City versus Real Madrid at the Etihad Stadium. A big one for them. The citizens are really celebrating being able to defeat the Madrid side. They lost Merengues, they lost Blancos 4-0, making it 5-1 aggregate. And really, they are smiling into the final against Inter Milan. What happens on June 10? We wait till June 10 before we talk about that. But right now, let's move away from Manchester City, Real Madrid thrashing. Let's talk about weightlifting. We come back to Nigeria now. Nigerian contingent traveled to Tunisia precisely, and they were able to do well. They won 12 medals there. Nigeria wins 12 medals at Senior African Weightlifting Championship in Tunisia. We were able to do well there. Let's look at the list of those Nigerians who did us proud. But there in Tunisia, we have the likes of Rafiatu there, talking about that particular list where they were able to do well now. Well, as we are waiting for that, let's quickly talk about this particular weightlifting championship. Nigeria wins 12 medals at Senior African Weightlifting Championship. We had 3 gold, silver, bronze, and altogether 12. And this also serves as a qualifier.
Well, I'm not surprised if you know Nigeria in the past. You know that we were very good in weightlifting, wrestling, weightlifting. All of a sudden, the other sport just died down, and we were just left with only football. But now, I'm not surprised that we are doing well. Even they don't call it the disabled. I've forgotten. Powerlifting, yes, you can see. They are also very good. With Nigeria, we have talent in every area of the sports. We have. It's just that we are not supporting our own. Just like I said the last time I came here, our sponsors, they are not helping us. I bet you if sponsors, some of them, they even make money in Nigeria and go to their own country and invest there. But they don't invest in Nigerian sports. If they can invest in Nigerian sports, all this kidnapping and all those things you are hearing about, they will die down. By the time you put facility, I went to Turkey, and almost every what do they call it? All this every not region, this
local government,
municipal,
local government,
municipal, yeah,
municipal, yeah. Yeah. Standard stadium, standard that children were. If I saw one 8-year-old boy shooting accurately to the post from a far distance, what it means is that he has been training for a very long, because there is facilities on ground. But go to area 3 as I speak to you now, you won't see space. You see clubs fighting over who to train. You see 3 clubs on a pitch. I think it is our sponsors are not helping matter. So I'm not surprised with the performance of this weightlifter. If they pump in money into sport, good enough. We have a new administration coming in. If they can pump in money into sport, I bet you all this kidnapping you are hearing will just disappear.
A lot of things here. Let's talk about this. Christopher, talking about this of our team, they went with just 5 weightlifters, and at least we're able to get 12 medals.
That's because you can win in
different categories.
Yes, you can win in the lift, then clean and jerk, and
snatch.
Yes, one person can win 3 medals, and I think it's a good development. You know, when we went to Commonwealth Games last year, we had about 6 of them winning medals in weightlifting. And like he said, in the past, this used to be like a good event for Nigeria where we were sure we would win medals. The Miriam Osman who competed at the Olympics. There were so many renowned athletes in the past who have won medals in weightlifting. So I'm happy seeing that the sport is, gaining momentum and coming back again. And hopefully we should get athletes who are going to win medals next day in Paris.
And you know what? It's one sport that we can actually win many medals, unlike football, where you have about 30 players and officials, and they will be struggling for one medal.
Because we have categories.
Well, yes. So I think we should focus more on this. Calling the attention of the next minister.
Good one.
That has done well. The next person should concentrate on this kind of sports.
Yes, we've been talking concerning weightlifting there. Let's look at the list of Nigerians who did us proud in Tunisia. You have 3 gold, 7 silver, and 2 bronze medals there. Lawal Rafiatu, 3 gold medals in 59 kilogram women category. Olanyo Dijat also won 3 silver in 59 kilogram for women. You have Joy Eze Ugbone there, 71 kilogram, 3 silver medals. And you have Edidiongo Mofia, who won silver, 2 bronze medals in 73 kilogram men category. Congrats to them, and hopefully they'll be able to qualify for the Olympics. They will be using all these templates to see how they can make it to the Olympics there. Away from weightlifting, let's quickly look at the MPFL outstanding match that will be coming up between Rivers United and Doma United. Rivers already, they are topping the table, so you can't take anything away from Rivers. Now they are going to play this match tonight.
And Doma, they need to win to qualify for the
Super Six.
Doma, very fantastic team. They start slowly. They remind me of the Arsenal of old under, what's the name of this Aston Villa coach? Emery, yes. What they do is they will start slowly. The money, they will be watching you, how you start your build up. Then before you know, they will now go after you. That's how they play. Doma, very intelligent team. But it's going to be difficult for them to defeat Rivers United. Rivers United, they want to prove a point that they're a very good side. And Finidi George is a national team coach. You also want to prove a point that yes, I'm good enough to be the Super Eagles coach.
That should be Stanley Eguma you're trying to say for Rivers, right?
Oh, Rivers. Oh, sorry. Yimba.
Your mind has gone to Yimba.
Yes. Ever since they lost the CAF Cup, I think they seems to be freer with matches. So that's why I think they will do better.
A big one there with Rivers United. And before we wrap it up, let's talk about tennis. A lot of people follow tennis too, but as it is right now, the man called Novak Djokovic actually lost out to Holger Rune in Rome quarterfinals. It was a tough one for him. At least he was trying to see if he can use this particular clay court to up his game before French, but it never happened. He lost that game.
Well, I am not surprised really, because Rune has defeated Djokovic. This is the second time he's beaten Djokovic. He defeated him in November last year, and now beating him again he's now showing that, see, these young guys are coming for the big ones. Interestingly, Djokovic is going to lose the #1 spot to Carlos Alcaraz. This defeat is not just that he lost to Rune; he's going to lose
by next
the
week.
#1 spot by next week.
And he will be trying. He want to use this one to also better his ahead of the French Open, just to see how he can detach himself from that 22 Grand Slam title he's having with Rafael Nadal.
If he's losing to Rune, he should forget about the French Open.
Then the lady Iga Swiatek also, she lost the quarterfinals to Rybakina.
See, the women's circuit is very, very competitive, as the men as well, so I'm not surprised that there are people who are coming up now who are challenging. It's not just, coming to the court to play against you because you're a Grand Slam winner. They come and they give you a fight, and it is good. It bodes well for the French Open that is going to be very competitive.
World #1 Iga Swiatek has been at least defeated in this tournament, although she got injured and she had to retire from that game. Good one. Let's see what happened between Rakina and the other ladies that will be fighting from the quarterfinal, semi-final to the final. Right now for Djokovic, it's bye-bye to Rome, and also let's see maybe he can make it in French Open. We've been talking with Chris Onokwegu. Thanks so much for coming on the show. even though Real Madrid couldn't score half goal.
I don't know.
And for Christopher Madrid, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Adeniyi Ajisafe, thanks for watching.